Hi, everybody. Is anyone else feeling as happy as I am with a brand new president and vice president in office? It's like we can finally breathe again. It feels so good. Not only that, but it's Drag Race time. Hi everyone, it's me, Glittah Gal, and today's episode was pretty cool because for the first time in the 4 episodes we've seen, somebody finally went home, and it was about time. But anyway, we got a lot of time to get to know these queens, so I guess that was pretty good. The runway theme was trains on the runway, so of course I had to wear the one dress that I have with a long train. And even though I am not going to be walking a runway or anything, it's pretty long. It's got like 2 little drape over train pieces. I've stoned them, stoned the whole thing. I gotta show it off. I've only worn it once for my Drag Survivor photo shoot, so it's about time I show it off one more time. Oh my gosh, I also got a brand new backdrop. It is the main stage of RuPaul's Drag Race. I ordered it off of worldofwonder.com, which you can do that too. They're like $25 to $30, and I think they also have the workroom, which was sold out at the time that I ordered this one. But pretty cool, right? I mean, hello. It's like I'm almost there. Anyway, trivia. Every single episode, I'm doing a little trivia question at the end where you can win a prize. And this week's prize is actually this little enamel pin. It is a stingray that is all for Pride season and everything. And I know it's only January, but it's never too early to show your pride, right? It's from a lovely artist I found through Instagram, and she does a lot of cute little Pride ocean pins. I think they're adorable. So there we go. That's the prize at the end of the episode. Stay tuned and you could be the winner. So we open up the episode on the workroom and we see the winner's circle queens hanging around the table waiting for the pork chop queens to come on in. And they decide that wouldn't it be funny if Elliott just hid behind the little curtain there until they come in and start talking, which is, I guess, a cute moment because the pork chop queens had no idea what to expect. And of course, Tina Burner is like, hey, let's get this moving. I'm going to bring up Elliott, see how this goes. They start talking a little bit of trash, not much, but enough to make Elliott's eyebrows raise. Elliott comes out. Now we have all 13 queens together, and they're all, of course, talking about, well, why did you eliminate me, and what's going on? And Elliott has to mention, well, why wouldn't you step up to the plate to Tamisha? Which, first of all, I know that when you're in the moment, sometimes you don't realize what you're saying, but like, what a dumb question. If you were in that pork chop lounge sitting around, like you personally, if you were in there and they were like, oh, we're going to eliminate somebody, would you stand up and be like, I'll go as tribute? No. Nobody wants to go home first. So the entrance plays. They announce that the winner is going to get a lifetime supply of Anastasia Beverly Hills and $100,000, which if you're anything like me, shouldn't it be more by now? Don't you think? Should be more by now. But anyway, this is the first time we get to see all of them together walking into the workroom for the first time. And the first conversation they have around the table is, who is single? Who doesn't have a man in their life? So, of course, Candy immediately sets her sights on Joey J. I think this moment is adorable. I love these little impromptu, like, fun moments. It's kind of like the thing that makes watching reality TV shows super fun, is watching how people start to mesh together. So, yeah, enjoyable moments. I'm glad to see them all together, finally. So RuPaul walks into the workroom and announces their main challenge. There is no mini challenge this episode. Personally, I like episodes when they have mini challenges, especially the little funny ones, but no mini challenge this time. That's okay. It's their first acting challenge, which is that they have to act in a RuPaul Mark Hollywood movie or whatever, which is like our play on Hallmark. movies. But this time, no Christmas. We're doing all random silly holidays like Valentine's Day, Flag Day, and April Fool's Day, which I think makes sense because all three of those are coming up in the next couple of months. So, hey, timely. So we get to see them all separated into their teams and rehearsing their parts and separating who's playing what and what's going on. We zoom into Team Valentine's Day and we get to see Kimora Hall talking about how she's irritated at Elliot's voice, which is probably one of those moments that they said in a confessional and either like forgot they said or remembered they said, but then later on, as we're doing our little watching of the show or whatever, being like, what did you say about me, girl? Like, I could just imagine how funny that is. I thought it was funny. Anyway, we see Rose and Tina and all of the ones that we know are like the actors of the group being like, gotta watch out for these kids. Quite the challenge. And then, of course, RuPaul walks in. Oh my gosh. And as RuPaul is making his way across the workroom, we see him meeting with each and every group. And when he gets to Team Flag Day, he asks them about their characterizations, who is playing who, and Utica mentions that she's playing the token flag girl. And RuPaul asks, have you ever smoked weed before, basically? And Utica does nothing but make facial expressions, which are great. And looking directly at the camera, like Utica broke the fourth wall, looking directly at the camera, like, oh, RuPaul asked me a question, but I'm looking at you. I'm right here. And just starts making these facial expressions, which is cracking RuPaul up so much that I don't care. I've watched the episode at this point 3 or 4 times, and I still can't help but laugh, hearing RuPaul laugh at how Utica is. This is a great moment. This is TV gold. This is personally my winning scene of the episode. So we get to rehearsals with Ross, and each team is going up one by one. We see Candy Muse really delivering her lines. We see, I think, Mick doing a great job. We see Rosé and Simone absolutely owning it, even though like in rehearsals Simone might not have been tip top. She obviously went back and practiced on her own or something, like hid in the bathroom stall reading her lines or something, because when she got to that filming session she was hitting it, baby. Anyway, everybody does a pretty good job, but I know that they mentioned this in the episode. Olivia did say like Kimora shows up in full body even though she's green screen. Honey, who doesn't know how green screen works? When you're in green screen, if you're wearing all green, the only thing you see is what is not green. So why show up in body, girl? She was probably, I don't know how long it takes to film those things. I don't know how long they get in front of Ross to get their scenes down or whatever. I would assume at least an hour or 2, 3 maybe. I don't know. Regardless, she showed up cinched with boobs, pads, the whole 9 yards, none of which are comfortable. So she's doing that whole thing, and you're not even gonna see it. Like, what? Kimora, I think you're great. But last week you hit me with the 5 hours, and this week you're getting me with the green screen. I feel like you're teaching everyone else a few lessons here. Runway time. Ooh, the best part of the show. And of course, the theme is trains on the runway. Lots of fabric, flowy fabric behind you. Yes. Anyway, RuPaul walks out wearing the most sparkliest of sparkly gowns. Michelle is looking sickening. Ross is there because he helped direct the challenge, and it's his turn. Carson will be next week. We all know that's how it goes by now. And our special guest judge is Loni Love, who is famous for her comedy, and we have all seen her on Celebrity Drag Race. If we paid attention to that last season, that is a thing that happened. Anyway, so hey, main stage time. Let's see what these girls are bringing. Okay, so runway time, and first we have Denali, who looks like a bird. This is beautiful. It's like a parrot. If nothing else, during this season, we are learning the difference between ostrich and chicken feathers for sure, because these are definitely ostrich. They are dyed all sorts of lovely colors. This is beautiful. I love it. The hair is, I mean, it fits the costume. I like the little dotty dot she did for the makeup. I like this. Good job, Denali. Next up is Olivia Lux. Olivia is looking like a musician. If she wanted to be like a Baroque type of Mozarty type, whatever, with the harp and whatever. The only thing I think that could have made this one personally better, and this was just like my first random thought, was if the train was still the same like fabric, but maybe also had like piano keys. Like the center of the train, like it was like a split coat kind of thing. If maybe the split part was like piano keys, I thought would have been cool and kind of would have matched to the little harp. I know maybe it also would have added like a cheesy element to it, but I thought that would have been neat. Still, she's beautiful. Cutest person ever. Elliot with two T's, looking white and white. This could have also worked for the sheer runway if she had done that runway. Little poofs of tulle. Swiffer, I hardly know her. Ugh, Kimora Hall. Why do you have to be so beautiful? These dragon heads, hello girl, where did you get them? I want them. The tail at the end piece, like what a way to do train. Creative, beautiful, gold, loved. She might not be an actress. She might not feel comfortable in this competition, but gosh dang, is she a fashion icon. Simone, why do you have to gag us so? This is so good. There is literally nothing wrong with this. I mean, when I saw that the train was coming from her head and not the typical dress like everybody else, like this is creative. This is reverent. This is perfection. Like she's using her head. She's doing it right. Lala Ree comes out looking like a snake. And, snakes. I honestly could see myself wearing something like this. I really like it. I think it looks good. I'm not as gagged as I was by some of the others, but this isn't bad. Good job, Lala Ree. Love it. Utica. Oh my gosh. Utica with the curtains on her shoulders. This is so Carol Burnett. It is so perfect. She even did the little ear thing. I love it. I mean, we've had a curtain challenge on the runway before, but nothing quite so, I mean, this looks great. The hair, if it looks great, Utica, you did it. You did it, girl. Rosé. Yeah, so this is a business suit looking thing with some tulle attached to the back of it. I like the hair. Gottmik, you have a stoned leaf blower. Ugh, you know a gal loves some stones. So anytime you can throw some stones on some random weirdo objects, I'm into it. I love this look. The trans colors, the makeup, the hair, the little prop. I mean, who doesn't love a prop queen? That's me. I'm a prop queen. Anyway, I love this look. I honestly don't know how she wasn't in the top. Tina Burner. Ugh. Before I started this episode, when I heard what the theme was, I was like, oh, if this were me, I probably would have done a train, like some sort of like smokestack headpiece with like gloves that were like wheels, and then maybe had like a caboose in the back. Some way to say that I am a train, like take the word train literally and be like down the runway. Anyway, so when I saw Tina come out kind of with the same idea that I had, I was like, yes, girl, that's what I would have done. Joey J. Oh my gosh, the tongue thing. Cute. Love it. Like, at first when she was walking out, I was like, what is that ball following behind her on her train? And then when she turned around, you see the mouth and it's like a little tongue. Cute. Like it. I mean, I'm not a tutor booter because that's not the show. But if this doesn't get a toot. Candy Muse. Tamisha, I'm on. This could have probably also worked for her sheer runway. It also kind of is a little reminiscent of her harem pants that she did on the daytime runway. I don't hate it, but after seeing all the other girls, like if this came out first, I would have been like, oh yeah, it's pretty. But because it's the last one out, it kind of looks a little lackluster and weak compared to the others. That does not mean I think it's bad. It's just we saw all the rest already. So now we get to see their films. And the first one we get to see is Valentine's Day, which of course is Denali, Olivia Lux, Elliot with 2 T's, and Kimora Hall. All of the 3 films we're about to see have the exact same plot with a little bit of extras thrown in. But this team is probably the worst one out of the 3 of them. Kimora's tree is very much a tree. Denali is a little flubbed. Elliot was like, whatever. It was probably the most forgettable one. You all saw it, you know. The next film we get to see is Flag Day, and I think that this one's a little bit better. Of course, Simone kills it. Rosé is funny. Yeah, Rosé and Simone killed it. Simone with the factory. Hilarious. And of course, the last film we see is the April Fool's Day, where we get to see Candy Muse being the funniest one. Like, that was pretty great. You go, Candy Muse. You go. I thought Gottmik did great. And I was trying to think if maybe I'm being biased, because I thought after I watched this the first time, I was like, why isn't Gottmik in the top? Her runway was amazing. Her acting was great. Like, she definitely nailed that challenge. I don't understand why she wasn't in the top. The only thing that I can possibly fathom as to why Gottmik wasn't in the top is because Rosé, Simone, and Candy were better. Or got better points or something. Because it had to be close. Gottmik was up there. But anyway, yeah, the other ones in this one, Tamisha was funny as Cher. I thought this was hilarious. I laughed a lot watching this the first time. This was pretty good. And so your top queens are Candy Muse, Rosé, and Simone, who ends up being the winner. And our bottom queens are Lalaurie, Denali, and Kimora. I think, other than maybe swapping Gottmik for one of the tops or putting Gottmik up there with the tops, I agree with this 100%. Denali and Kimora Hall lip syncing definitely made sense to me. Lalaurie probably could have been swapped for Denali, but also Denali wasn't great either. So it did make sense that these were the bottom 2. They lip synced to 100% and Denali, you didn't have to go that hard, did you? Because holy crap, that was definitely an entertaining lip sync. Kimora couldn't even move. And honestly, after watching Untucked, it kind of felt like Kimora already gave up. Like, she was telling all the other queens, like, you guys have meant so much to me. You guys have meant the world to me. I can't say how much I appreciate you enough. So I feel like Kimora was like, she knew. Speaking of Untucked, we get some pretty great moments. One of the things that I wanted to point out from Untucked is, how come they're not getting alcohol this season? They are just getting bubbly. Like, I understand bubbly's a sponsor, but like, really, no alcohol? I can't mix bubbly in with some vodka or something? Like, what is going on? I mean, they're not getting a lot of perks this year. Is there something against like live mix pouring drinks or something? Like, what are the COVID restrictions on that? Or did you think that if you gave them drinks that maybe they would forget to wear their mask shields when they went outside? And this is the first time we see them putting on shields as they go outside. Also, how come there's no Untucked lounge? Like, normally they go into a whole separate place behind the scenes. There's an Untucked lounge. The last couple of episodes, including this one, they just are back in the workroom on a couch. Very similar to All Stars. So is the Untucked lounge like not a thing? Are we like, oh, we're only sanitizing this one room, like this is too much work, so we're sanitizing this and not anything else, so this is the Untucked lounge now? The workroom and the Untucked lounge are the same thing? I don't know, just some thoughts that I had. So anyway, Kimora went home. Kimora's our first one gone. Bye-bye, the Mackie doll from the House of Hall. I mean, had to be somebody. So that's our episode, and I'm just going to jump right into trivia, and the trivia question is, Season 6 was the first time we saw a split cast. Who were the first two eliminated, one per episode, that went home? Put your answer in the comments below. I'll pick from random, and one of you will win a Pride prize. Oh my gosh, so the season has officially begun. Who will go home next? I don't know. I guess we'll have to tune in and find out. Either way, definitely be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It all really helps me turn this little dream into a reality, and I could not thank you enough for participating. So that being said, peace out. Love you lots. Bye.